What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another review here on the channel. I know it's been a minute. No movies really to start off the year that have really caught my attention, but this time obviously the first MCU release of actual Phase 5 as well, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So I went to go watch that on Tuesday, so just a part of kind of the opening weekend. We couldn't get tickets for Thursday, so we got them for cheap night here around in the Greater Toronto area. So I did watch it. I think going in, I was very excited about this. Very excited until I heard actual reviews online, kind of shitting on it and stuff like that. And I was kind of I dampened my expectations a bit after that. But I'm always somebody who wants to see the movie for myself. I'm not gonna bounce and not go. I gotta see it for myself, because a lot of movies that critics don't like, I like. So and this is also the scenario where the audience actually really liked it. I did notice on Rotten Tomatoes as well, compared to the critics. But in terms of the story that we did get, and by the way, guys, this includes spoilers, so click off if you don't like spoilers or anything like that. If you're looking for a spoilerless review, but when it comes to the story was, I'd say it was okay. Honestly, there was a lot of great moments where obviously the battle between Kang and Ant-Man, obviously, which was great. I loved that. It was awesome. But overall, I think going into the quantum realm, I think I would expect a little more. I know a lot of people said it felt like Star Wars, and I understand a couple things in that, but it wasn't totally like that, I don't think. But the world of the quantum realm was cool, though. I did like it. I had that broccoli man, which was pretty jokes, and there was all different types of almost bacteria or something like that, which was pretty jokes as well. But pretty much, yeah, starting from the beginning, him obviously just living a normal life and stuff, making a book and stuff like that, which was pretty jokes. And obviously ended up going into the quantum realm. I liked how they tackled different tribes and stuff. We got to see different beings, freedom fighters. We got to see how they drink this liquid, and it kind of and it makes everybody speak as normal. They don't have to translate anything. They speak as normal, which is kind of cool. Honestly, I did like that. I love how it showcased Janet as well. Janet Van Dyne was one thing we really wanted to know about, because she wasn't very much in that last movie when they saved her. It was very dumbed down, not much, but we got to see a lot of it. I think that's where this movie shined, and explained her backstory. She opened up about it, actually interacting with Kang, this version of Kang, because all the variants and stuff. And this one was interesting too. I liked Kang in this. He was fantastic. Jonathan Majors, round of applause. He was fantastic. And in terms of the story with him, it was awesome how he was apparently the one that they kind of banished and exiled, and he ended up staying there. And I love how he's villainizing the other ones, which it kind of makes you think, it's shit, does this guy deserve this? But then he still wants to destroy worlds and stuff like that, and be a dictator and stuff. I love how they propped him up in his land there, and how they actually, because of how the movie starts, is where they actually meet coincidentally, and she helps him obviously rebuild his ship, and she's the reason for that, which was crazy, and also the reason why he didn't actually get out completely. So she helped him, but she didn't help him to the full extent, which was cool. And it showed her arc, because I know at the beginning of the movie they make you question, oh shit, what is she hiding, right? But she did do the great thing at the end of the day, but she feels guilty for what she did do before. But no, in general, obviously beating Kang, I don't know how I feel about them actually beating Kang like that, but I feel it made sense in the way they did it. Obviously the ants kind of pretty much getting rid of him almost, and they had a 3-on-1 fight after the ants kind of went away, and it was super cool. And the way they killed him, I think, was a way that was it made sense, right? Because it felt you had to be you were it feels that you're at a disadvantage even when it's 5-1, 6-1. So it did feel that, a very daunting task, and they felt like his death was actually super hard to actually make happen and stuff, and bring kind of peace to the quantum realm. So that was interesting. Honestly, I think, I said, a lot of really heartfelt moments, and it makes up for some of the dampened moments where I feel okay, that's a little cheesy. We see a lot of that and whatever. And I think an alternate movie ending would have been nice. Instead of them going back to the world, it would have been interesting if they actually ended up getting stuck in the quantum realm, and they could have did an Ant-Man 4 for that, which I'll talk a little later about the future. But I feel like that could have been a really cool alternate ending that I thought they were gonna do. I thought that was actually gonna happen, then like the movie was gonna end, but ended up being like you know, just a happy ending with like the cake and him wondering like, oh shit, like danger's coming, right? It's supposed to be, but he's like living in denial, which is pretty funny. In terms of characters though, when it comes to the main characters, like obviously Paul Rudd did an amazing job as Ant-Man. He is fantastic. I love the guy. He was very good as it. No real complaints with that. But then I think like another character which I wanted to talk about was Cassie. But now she was able to actually be really involved in this one. And I mean, honestly, like kind of forgettable. I mean, she didn't do a bad job, the actress, Catherine Newton, not at all. But just I felt like she didn't do overall too much to the story. It was feel good moments. But it was nothing that like I'm gonna be like, oh, that was like super memorable in the movie. I'm not gonna forget that. Like it was whatever. Obviously, just a good character, just a nice character and stuff. Not too much. Obviously, it was kind of interesting that she was going down the path of kind of being in trouble, but by doing the right things. I think at the beginning of the movie, I was like, oh shit, she's doing bad stuff, but not really. She's just trying to help people and stuff. And she has a suit too, which is very cool. She was fine, whatever. But then the real ones I want to talk about is Janet, which was played by Michelle Pfeiffer. She was fantastic. Made this movie big time. Her and Janet, she finally got that chance to showcase herself in Marvel, and just her like the whole acting of the story, the emotion. She had an amazing performance. And I think the one person that one-upped her and the star of this film was Jonathan Majors as Kang. Okay, I loved him in the Loki finale. I was so enamored by it. Jonathan Majors is a great actor, and he showed it here. He showed it. He was so good. I just the way he speaks, you think you could win. Just like masterclass performance, just fantastic. Without him, I think the movie would not have been that good. I wouldn't have been good at all. I don't think. I think the movie would have been. I mean, like obviously the whole purpose of the film is to have him in it, but I think like if Jonathan Majors was not Kang in this movie, I would have thought it was a really bad movie. Like so, I think he really made it for me. Him and Michelle specifically. But when it comes to him just like acting it out with her in the fight scenes, him trying to get Ant-Man to go down into the core, like just him like obviously using his powers and stuff, and just every which way he did it, like it was fantastic. I loved it. Like A+ from him, Jonathan Majors. I cannot wait to see him in Loki season 2 and future Marvel films. They really prop him up as the Conqueror and all the variants and stuff, which we'll talk about the post credit in a bit. And in terms of the Wasp, which obviously Hope, I felt like she was. I mean, she's in the title of the movie, Ant-Man The Wasp, Quantumania, and I feel like she didn't get enough recognition, obviously, to be in the name. I think she was good in it, but I feel like something was missing for her. I think I wish we got a little bit more of her. And then also I wanted to mention one more guy, and that was MODOK, which is Darren from the first movie. That was a super surprise, and I heard a lot of comic book guys, they said this was so accurate to the source material. And like just a great retelling live action of him. That was a surprise. There was a lot of funny moments with that. Obviously, like his like widened head, and so I feel like I've seen that somewhere in something before. But it was super cool. I loved it. His character arc. It's kind of reminded me of like a bootleg Darth Vader or something like that. The way he was dying too. It was just funny. It was a good comedic moment, and it came around. The character came around. It was such a great character arc. I really liked it, and that's the way to incorporate comedic relief and a nice story. I think that was the perfect way to do it in the Marvel setting. But I loved MODOK. It was really funny. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the characters. But in terms of a movie rating, so I always give one of those. This movie, like I said, I went in with tempered expectations, which initially, like a month ago, if you asked me, I was super excited for this. But going in, I was excited, but like not like I was kind of like, ooh, a little worried, right? I went in not blown away, but satisfied. I thought it was good. Not great, but like I said, those really nice moments, obviously those ones that like, you know, are very like heartfelt and stuff, I think, and Michelle Pfeiffer, Kang, I think those performances those three things made up for the entire movie, from it being a mediocre MCU movie, in my opinion. And overall, I think was very good in terms of a 7 out of 10. So like a very solid movie, just 7 out of 10. Nothing crazy, but something I very much enjoyed, and would like to. I would rewatch it again for sure. I mean, it's not something I'm gonna rush to go rewatch and stuff. But if I were to, I'm going to see Jonathan Majors as Kang and Janet Van Dyne in the movie. That's what I'd be going to watch it for. I wouldn't be going to watch for Ant-Man. That's what I personally wouldn't like. That's my personal opinion in terms of this, at least. So, but in terms of, I want to talk about like Ant-Man 1, 2, and 3. Like, which ones, like, where does Quantumania rank between the two? And I still think, like, the first movie was my favorite. And it was one that I pushed off to the side for a while. I didn't watch it right away. I don't know why. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, this movie's fantastic. It was amazing. And yeah, I just really liked it. And then Ant-Man The Wasp, I did like very much as well. Not as good as that one, but I think that's where it puts Quantumania, I think, third. I think that's where I think it is the worst Ant-Man movie, but that's not necessarily saying it's bad. Like some critics are saying, but I think it is the worst out of the three, I would say. And yeah, I think it's 1, 2, 3, and usually that's how it goes. The original is always hard to beat, and the sequel is very good in this way. But yeah, with that as well, that's what I would put in terms of little rankings. But in terms of like a future Ant-Man movie, I'm kind of wondering about if they make a fourth one. I'm not sure. Like, I think like I said, if they got stuck in the quantum realm, like I might have thought, but I think it could happen. I'm not 100% convinced that we will get another one. But then again, Thor got a fourth movie, so I'm not sure. It's a wait and see. I don't like right now. I'm gonna say no. I don't think Ant-Man gets a fourth movie. That's right now. But if they get a fourth one, I'll be definitely happy about that. But I'd say give it a few years probably before we do that, and we'll probably see Ant-Man again probably in one of the Avengers movies. Can't see anything else crossing over. But I think this movie, the most important thing was it was laying down Phase 5, Kang and stuff, and just setting up the MCU and the multiverse saga. And it did that very well. And even with the post-credit scenes, the first one was my favorite one. Was almost my favorite part of the movie. I think I've always been into ancient Egypt and stuff, and especially seeing that variant that had that kind of like almost, I don't want to say headdress, but like the thing that the pharaohs have on. That was so cool. And all the Kang variants, you kind of seen like all the main ones, and you've seen all Kangs around in like the stadium type setting and stuff. It was so cool. It just showed like, oh, he's now dead. And like it was like they all talk different. Like again, Jonathan Majors, so good. Like, oh my god, like just like him being able to act out all these different like variants and stuff. That was pretty cool. And I can't wait to see how that is in the future. I think that'll probably be in like Secret Wars, Kang Dynasty. I'm sure that'll be something that we see then, not now. We could see in Loki, and that goes into what I was saying about Loki. That goes into the second post-credit scene, which was pretty much a Loki season 2 clip. I think that's really what it was. It was pretty cool. I think very, very simple. It was nice to see Tom Hiddleston again. Not too much from that overall. It was just like it was like a little teaser before the trailer comes out hopefully soon. And I remember my buddy Rob was saying he was hoping for a release date. We didn't get one with that, but I think Marvel's scaling back now all of a sudden, so that might be a fall release. So I might have to stay in the loop for that. That might be a little bit later than expected because I think it was summer originally. But overall, guys, that's pretty much my thoughts on Ant-Man The Wasp: Quantumania. Let me know down below what you thought of the film. In terms of the story, the characters, what would you rate out of 10? And just what you think overall in general, you know, was it something that you agreed with the critics or you agree more with the audience and in general enjoyed the movie and stuff? And let me know down below with all that stuff. And don't forget, if you did enjoy this review, to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn that notification bell down below as well. I have a bunch of TV show reaction on the channel. I've done MCU. I'll plug the MCU stuff down below if you're interested in that. And we'll definitely be doing Marvel content as it comes out. Right now, the only other release date we know is Guardians of the Galaxy and the Marvels. We don't know anything else TV shows exactly when yet. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. Do have a bunch of other stuff as well if you want to check that stuff out. Overall, like I said, solid movie. I enjoyed it. Not blown away. And definitely something that's good to remember for Kang and Janet's performances in this movie and stuff. And I think that's where you pretty much leave it at that. Some heartfelt moments that definitely are enjoyable to probably a lot of people. So yeah, but anyways, guys, appreciate you all for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. Peace.